The day is June 5th, 2024. Final Fantasies 11 and 14 are currently not accepting Visa debit payments. I'm not paying $90 for access to the War Within beta, and I'm in the middle of some mild OSRS burnout. But hey, I keep hearing about the new Destiny 2 expansion, The Final Shape. And it comes out yesterday. The only problem is, I've played a grand total of 2 hours of Destiny 2. I never even got out of the Cosmodrome, and even that was years ago. Well, it's time to change that. I'm going to start from square one and see exactly what Destiny 2 is like for a brand new player in 2024. Here's episode 1. After barely any thinking, I choose to play as a Titan. I play tank in every MMO, and this sounds like it is the closest thing to that role in this game. The character creation is quick and not overly detailed, while also giving me at least some control over how my character looks. I like it. The opening cinematic is really cool. I don't quite understand anything, but it looks cool, it sounds cool, and it makes me want to start watching the 10-hour lore video YouTube has been recommending. And it quickly becomes apparent that if I'm going to understand anything beyond the very, very basics of what is going on, like go here, grab this, go here, shoot this, I'm going to need to look outside of the game for more info on just exactly what the fuck is going on. So I'm dropped into the Cosmodrome, and given a brief but not oppressive tutorial on movement, shooting, and ability use. Mid-combat tips are placed in a noticeable spot and stay on the screen long enough to be read, but not long enough to become annoying. This is good. It won't always be this good, but for now, it is actually really good. I exit the opening tutorial section straight into a public event, which I quickly gather are similar to Fates in Final Fantasy XIV. I die once because I'm bad, but the walker goes down, I grab my reward, and run away before the event starts again. First off, I want to say that the moment-to-moment gameplay is already fantastic. Weapons feel and sound great. Aiming is snappy and smooth. Movement feels weighty, but not slow and sluggish, and the visuals are beautiful. Anyway, I meet Shahan, get some more story, and keep following quest markers until the first example of the game not always being great at sharing important information shows up. I'm told to press E to ride the heavy bike, but once on it, I am not told what button to press to exit the vehicle. Turns out, it's space, but I only find that out by pressing a bunch of buttons until one works. I do some more story, and complete another public event. The diamond marker stays on this chest even after I have looted it, and this confuses me for a while, before I just decide the game is lying to me and I move on. After some dialogue with Shahan, I notice these things called bounties that reward XP+, but the game has mentioned XP exactly 0 times so far, so I just ignore them. Hopefully, they aren't important or useful. I then notice that very early on, they give you the option to skip this whole tutorial area, which I imagine is quite useful for veterans starting a second or third character. I obviously will not be skipping it. The next mission is made up of running from Circle of Light to Circle of Light and holding E, but the Circle of Light charges up my super and lets me go unga bunga almost permanently, so at least that's fun. I get a good laugh out of dying once because I yeet myself into a group of enemies that explode on death. I tell myself I won't make that mistake again, but I probably will. At the end of the mission, I get a fragment, which I learn is one of the ways you upgrade and build your character. The game does an okay enough job explaining this. The fragment I got makes it so I am more resistant to damage when surrounded by combatants, and gives me plus 10 strength. I wish the description gave actual numbers. What does surrounded by combatants mean? How many combatants do there need to be? How close do they have to be? How much damage do I become resistant to? I know that trying to fix this can lead to item descriptions that are paragraphs long at times, like the ones in Diablo 4, but it would be nice if I could click on the fragment to opt into seeing a more detailed explanation of the item's effects. After talking to Shaw again, I get some new gear and equip all of it because the big number is bigger. I don't entirely know which stats I should be caring about. or if stat priority is even a thing in this game. And I have no clue what this energy thing is. But big number bigger is my motto for everything but guns for now. I will prioritize guns that I enjoy shooting and that seem to fit with the playstyle of Titan until I have a better grasp of the meta and things that actually matter in group content. I also pick up this key from Shaw and it opens a chest that gets me an exotic weapon. I've heard about these. Apparently they are important, so I equip it and move on. After some more quests, I get back to Shaw's spot but he's gone and there's a chest in his place. And we've just reached another example of the game just outright not sharing important information. I receive a vehicle here. The only notification is a tiny pop-up on the side of the screen. I get lucky enough to notice it, though I suspect many people could and have missed the notification completely. This would be minor on its own, especially since the game could use this moment to teach you about summoning your personal vehicle. Instead, the game completely ignores it and doesn't tell you anything at all. I spend the next 7 minutes trying to find the keybind to get on my new vehicle. At one point, I decide to walk some of the way towards the next quest location, hoping that I will get a pop-up telling me how to use the new thing the game just gave me. It doesn't happen. I finally give up and do something I am trying to avoid except when necessary. I Google it. Turns out you have to press tab to open up your ghost menu thing, then press E to summon the vehicle. There is almost no way I would have ever figured this out, and if I would have had to walk the very long distance to the next quest, I probably would have stopped playing the game entirely at that point. This ends up being the biggest issue I have in my first 3 hours in the game, and Bungie really needs to fix this. Early into the next quest, I pick up a new helmet from a chest, and I just want to take a moment to say that armor in this game looks really cool. Normally your early hours in a new MMO have you looking like actual dog shit, and while I don't think there is anything wrong with that, because appearance is just another aspect of character and account progression in those games, it is a nice change of pace to feel like I already look pretty cool in this game. I finally get a chance to fight Navoda, and after about 2 hours of quests leading up to this moment, it feels really anticlimactic for her to just run away after I start kicking her ass. But this is only a temporary feeling, as the moment that really seals the "I'm going to keep playing this game" deal is fast approaching. I save Shaw, get a ship, and head to the emptiest city ever. Later on, I'll learn why it is so empty. But as a first time entering a big city moment in an MMO, it is really disappointing for no other players to be there. I think of my first time entering Stormwind in World of Warcraft, or Gridania in Final Fantasy XIV, and immediately seeing this huge lively area full of other players sharing this living, growing world, and how much of a lasting impact that has on my memory of those places and those games. But once again, this is far from a deal breaker, and I keep going. Right into another bug. This Grow Your Light pop-up becomes stuck on the bottom of my screen after talking to Ikora. I don't know if buying a new ability would have made it go away, but I don't know how valuable Glimmer is yet, and I still don't really know what abilities I want, or even if I want to play this Arc subclass at all, so I don't buy anything, and in the end I have to log out and log back in for the message to go away. Logging out and logging back in also sends me back to my ship and I have to land again, which is a bit jarring at first, but not really a problem at all. And now we get to the deal sealer. My first strike. I play MMOs for group content. I enjoy easy group content, and I absolutely fucking love challenging group content. And, in my opinion, having early group content is one of the best things an MMO can do. It's something that Final Fantasy XIV excels at, with all of the main story dungeons that are required to progress the story. Early easy group content helps ease new players into that aspect of the game, and I believe it serves to prepare players and the community for more challenging end-game group content. But that's a topic for another video. The Disgraced is fun. That's really the plain and simple of it. Fun, simple encounters with what amounts to trash mobs that lead up to a fight with Navoda that more than makes up for her running away earlier. The fact that she doesn't just die in a few hits makes her feel like an actual threat, and makes it more believable that she killed Maeve and other Guardians. Mechanically, the fight with her is simple. Trash mobs spawn in and she teleports around. She's just an enhanced version of the witch enemy type that has shown up multiple times already. Nothing crazy, but it doesn't have to be. That's the magic of early group content. I do almost die a few times because I put myself in really dumb positions, and I horribly misuse my super. But I also get to feel pretty cool saving myself with the healing from this charged melee. In the end, she goes down, and after another cutscene that looks really cool but makes almost no sense at all, I come back to the tower, and there are at least a few players here. Yay. I also get to Guardian rank too, and these Guardian rank things seem pretty important since features and content are locked behind them. So at least I have some guidance from the game about what I should do next, and I appreciate that since I am 10 years late to the party. In the end, my first 3 hours of Destiny 2 were almost entirely positive. I ran into one bug, and only had to go outside of the game for help once. For an MMO, that is pretty damn good. I already spoiled the fact that I will be continuing to play the game, and I will continue documenting my thoughts and my progress through it. The lore seems interesting even if I know I will have to read and watch things outside of the game to get any understanding of it. The gameplay is outstanding, the graphics are good, the sound design is fantastic, and I really want to see what more complex and difficult group content is like. I know that going forward, I will have to look outside of the game for more information, especially since I plan to do things like raids. That's fine. I'm used to that in Final Fantasy XIV, World of Warcraft, and Guild Wars 2. When I enjoy a game, I want to know everything I possibly can about it, and so far I really enjoy Destiny 2. I'll be back with episode 2. Thanks for watching. Bye.